Welcome to HAC's monthly commentary. Today we're going to take a look at what happened in the month of February in the markets, and we'll also take a look at what we possibly could expect in the month of March. We'll also take a look at some of the changes HAC made in its portfolio in February. Last month, the S&P 500 had a nominal loss of 0.8%. On the other hand, the Canadian stock market had a gain of 6.6%. That's a huge discrepancy between the two markets. The S&P 500 traded in a fairly tight range as earnings season wound down for Q1. The earnings were less than impressive for the overall market. On the other hand, the Canadian stock market benefited from the Canadian banks doing extremely well coming into earnings, and the energy sector also performing particularly well. Last month, HAC made some changes in its portfolio. HAC exited the small cap sector, which had been outperforming the S&P 500, but it started to show some weakness just before the end of its strong seasonal period. HAC also exited its short sell position in the homebuilder sector. It also exited its position in the materials sector, which was starting to show a little bit of weakness despite very strong performance for January and most of February. HAC also exited its position in the metals and mining sector and the defense sector. Last month, HAC trimmed back its positions in the energy sector. It also trimmed back its position in the gold sector as well. It also reduced its position in the industrial sector and the silver sector. Last month, HAC increased its position in the Canadian stock market, and it also increased its position in the gold miner sector. HAC also initiated positions in the utility sector and the healthcare sector. Both of these are defensive sectors, but they can perform well at this time of the year on a seasonal basis when the stock market is struggling. And given that the S&P 500 was trading in a fairly tight range, HAC took on positions in the defensive sectors. What should we expect for the markets in the month of March? On a seasonal basis, March tends to be a positive month for the markets. But the earnings season for Q1 was less than spectacular for the S&P 500. And that's a little bit concerning because now we're relying on economic announcements. And we have seen a trend in the economic announcements to be fairly weak at this time, not particularly strong. So we're probably likely to see the markets have muted gains if it does produce gains this month, or perhaps we could see a little bit of a pullback as well. Thank you for joining me today. I'd love to know your comments on the markets. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next time.